Imagine a world where everything, your thoughts, your experiences, even the conflicts you face, is driven by just two forces. Two forces that shape not only the physical universe, but also your deepest inner self. This is the world of Samkhya, one of the oldest schools of Indian philosophy. Now, what if I told you that these two forces can help you understand why life feels so chaotic at times and how you can find peace in the middle of it? Stay with me, and I'll show you how Samkhya's teachings can help you navigate our fast-paced, ever-changing world. Welcome to Philosophy Simplified, where we take the most profound philosophical ideas and break them down into concepts you can apply in your daily life. Today, we're diving into Samkhya, the school of dualism. This philosophy explains reality through the interaction of two forces, Purusha and Prakriti. And by the end of this video, you'll see how these ancient teachings can help you find balance in a world of chaos, misinformation, and division. The foundations of Samkhya, Purusha and Prakriti Samkhya, is all about dualism. The idea that reality is shaped by two fundamental principles. 1. Purusha. Think of Purusha as pure consciousness. It's the observer, the silent witness to everything happening in the world. Purusha doesn't take action. It simply watches. It's eternal, unchanging, and exists beyond the chaos of the material world. 2. Prakriti. On the other hand, Prakriti is the doer. It represents the material world, the physical, mental, and emotional experiences that we all go through. It's always in motion, always changing. Prakriti is what gives rise to everything we see, hear, feel, and think. Now here's the key. Everything in the universe arises from the interaction of these two forces. It's like a dance, Purusha observes, while Prakriti moves. This interaction creates the diversity of life, matter, and experience that we navigate every day. Let's simplify this even further. Imagine you're at a movie theater. Purusha is like the audience, watching the film unfold without interacting with it. Prakriti is the movie, full of action, drama, and emotion. The movie can be chaotic, but you, the observer, remain unchanged by it. Samkhya teaches that while we live in the movie Prakriti, our true nature is the observer, Purusha. Why Samkhya's dualism matters today. So why does this ancient concept of dualism matter in today's world? Let's take a look around us. Our world is filled with misinformation, conflict, and division. Social media bombards us with opinions, news channels fuel outrage, and even everyday life can feel overwhelming. Samkhya offers a powerful tool for navigating this chaos. According to Samkhya, all of this external noise comes from Prakriti, the material, ever-changing world. It's in Prakriti's nature to be chaotic and full of conflict. But the key is that you don't have to get swept up in it. Your true self, Purusha, is separate from all of this. You are the observer, the stillness in the storm. Let's pause for a moment and think about how much of our stress today comes from being overstimulated. Whether it's news, social media, or personal conflicts. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information coming at you from all sides? That's Prakriti in action, constantly shifting, constantly throwing distractions your way. But Purusha, your conscious awareness, is always there, calm and unaffected. The next time you feel overwhelmed by an article or an argument on social media, remind yourself, I am not the chaos. I am the observer. This small shift in perspective can help you find peace, even in the middle of the storm. One of the most practical ways Samkhya applies to modern life is in how we handle misinformation and propaganda. We live in an era where information is everywhere, but much of it is designed to manipulate us, trigger emotional reactions, or push us in certain directions. Samkhya teaches that this constant barrage of information is part of Prakriti's nature. Prakriti is always changing and always trying to pull our attention toward the external world. But here's the key. You are not your reactions. Just because something stirs up an emotional response in you doesn't mean it has control over you. Here's a practical exercise from Samkhya that you can use right now. 1. The next time you read something that makes you angry or anxious, take a deep breath and pause. 2. Instead of reacting immediately, step back and observe your feelings. Ask yourself, is this my Purusha observing, or is Prakriti pulling me into chaos? 3. By observing, you create a mental gap, a space between you and your emotions, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Now, let's look at another area where Samkhya's dualism can help: bigotry and ego-driven conflict. Think about how much of today's conflict comes from people identifying too strongly with their egos, their beliefs, their politics, or their identities. Samkhya reminds us that these identities are all part of Prakriti. They are external, ever-changing, and ultimately superficial. Our true self, Purusha, transcends these labels. When we recognize that our essence is pure consciousness, we can see beyond the divisions that usually separate us. Here's an idea to consider. If all of us share the same Purusha, then at our core, we are not really that different. The things that divide us, race, religion, politics, are just aspects of Prakriti. They're temporary, and they're not who we truly are. When you embrace this, you start to let go of rigid beliefs and ego-driven conflicts. You begin to see others not as opponents or enemies, but as fellow observers of the world. This realization fosters empathy and helps dissolve the boundaries that fuel hatred and division. Let's do a quick reflection. Think about something you identify strongly with: your job, your nationality, your beliefs. Now ask yourself, is this who I am? Or is this part of Prakriti, the material world? Can you imagine a world where people recognize their shared Purusha instead of focusing on their external identities? How would that change how we interact with each other? Practical steps to apply Samkhya in your life. So, how can we apply Samkhya to our daily lives to find more peace, clarity, and empathy? Here are 3 powerful steps to bring this philosophy into practice. 1. Daily observation. Start each day by taking 5 minutes to simply observe your thoughts without judgment. This helps you separate your identity from your thoughts, reinforcing that you are the observer, not the thinker. Over time, this practice will strengthen your connection to Purusha. 2. Mindful consumption of information. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded by news, social media, and other stimuli. Make it a habit to question what you consume. Before reacting to anything emotionally, pause and reflect. Is this trying to provoke me, or can I observe it calmly? This simple practice helps you maintain your inner peace in the face of external chaos. 3. Let go of rigid identities. Try to identify areas where you may be holding on too tightly to ego-driven identities. Whether it's political views, personal beliefs, or cultural differences, Samkhya teaches that these are temporary aspects of Prakriti. Practice seeing others as fellow Purushas, and notice how this opens the door to more empathy and less conflict. Take these principles and try them out. The next time you're confronted with chaos, whether it's in your personal life or online, pause, observe, and remember that your true self, Purusha, is unaffected by the storms around you. The power of Samkhya's dualism. Samkhya's dualism offers a powerful way to understand not just the universe, but our place within it. By recognizing the difference between Purusha and Prakriti, we can live with more peace, clarity, and empathy. We don't have to get lost in the chaos of the material world. Instead, we can anchor ourselves in the deep calm of our consciousness and contribute to a more harmonious world. What do you think? Could Samkhya's teachings of dualism help you navigate the challenges of today's world? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's get a conversation started. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our next dive into the world of philosophy.